Hey, what's up, Onward here. Tomorrow I'm doing my second century, and basically preparing for that and preparing for my double century here in a few weeks. I've learned a lot about nutrition, and today I want to talk to you guys about that. And even if you guys aren't doing a century and you're doing 30, 50, anything in excess of an hour, it's really important to learn how to fuel to make sure that you can perform and basically hit those milestones that you want to hit. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so I feel like there's a few ways to look at fueling for longer rides, but I basically have to start the day before. I make sure I'm consuming more water and carbs than usual, especially since I know that I'm not gonna be eating as much for that next day. So for me, during that century, I'm not gonna be eating regular food, for around 8 hours unless I have a sandwich. So basically that day before, I'll either have pizza or pasta, just something kind of carb heavy, just so that can stay on me. And I try and still keeping it healthy, so choosing a whole wheat pasta or whole wheat pizza really helps out. And then basically from there, I want to try to get more sleep, since that is also an important part, just not what you eat. So basically from there, starting from my ride, about 3 hours before, I want to make sure that I eat, and usually I have like an oatmeal, and for me that leaves time for my body to digest it. It's not heavy on my stomach, and I can basically go out and ride right after that. And it keeps me fueled longer. I feel like I've tried a few other things, like, I'll have banana, whatever, and that just doesn't stay as well, especially once again, not eating for most of the day, other than some gels and stuff like that, but those just aren't as heavy. So I try to do it about 3 hours before and just make sure that I have time to digest before I have to start riding. So once we look at kind of what I'm doing off the bike right beforehand, I start looking at, what am I gonna plan to eat on that ride? Because I don't pack sandwiches, I don't pack a lot of that stuff just because it's kind of hard to carry. So a lot of what I eat breaks down to 3 different kinds. So gels, bars, and then kind of like a water fuel mixture. So I want to talk to you guys more about those and kind of the different versions of those and what I like, what I don't like. And with all of this, nobody's paying me. So I have different brands and stuff like that I kind of mix up, even though I have a lot of science and sports. But I just found that worked for me. So try these out off the bike. So there's a few different kinds of these different energies, but looking at gels first, the ones that I kind of like are these isotonic ones by Science and Sports. And basically these are a lot more, they're a bigger tube first off, but then it's more watery than something like these honey stingers or the other gels that you've seen that come in these smaller packages. These ones are more so like the consistency of honey. So something like that, and trying to eat that without drinking water is just really hard. And all of them come in kind of different flavors, different varieties. They have electrolyte versions, they have just regular different flavors. I think GU just announced that they have a Coke version, so Coca-Cola if you want that, which has caffeine. I really like these ones as well by Science and Sports. They're double espresso. So with the gels, I found pacing them around every 45 minutes is really what's best for me. So along with those gels, during any ride below 3 hours, I might also take an energy bake. So these things also by Science and Sports. I really like these because they're a little bit heavier on the stomach. With anything in this bar category, I like looking at trying to eat one intermittently. So the gels I eat about every 45 minutes. And then the bars, it kind of just depends. It might be every couple hours or a little bit more, but I really find the gels are most helpful, and the bars are kind of just a different texture, so I'm not just drinking something throughout an entire ride. So I know I threw out like a few numbers with the bars and with the gels, and for me it's kind of hard to keep consistent of like remembering like, okay, 45, 1 hour and 30, 2 hours and 15, and trying to track all that, even though it's easy math when you're not riding. But while you're riding, it kind of gets confusing. So what makes it easier for me is to also mix in like one of those water soluble energy things. So I drink this, which is by Scratch. It's just called Super Fuel. And basically you can mix that into one of your water bottles. So I'll carry a regular water bottle and then that, and basically just switch between and drink like a sip of that one with my regular water, and then kind of make sure that I stay on top of drinking everything. So with all of this kind of stuff, whether it's the water-based ones, the gels, the bars, I encourage you guys to try it off the bike, so on the trainer, just to make sure that you guys aren't gonna like mess up your stomach or feel bad while you're doing a long. So that kind of gets you all the way through that ride. So from that start, making sure that you're fueled the day before, having like a breakfast 3 hours before, using a mix of these different energy bars or protein or gels, just to make sure that you're staying fueled throughout that ride. And once again, I would do that about every 45 minutes. I like having that water mix just to kind of bridge that gap in case your body's expelling more carbs than that or using more carbs. So the last thing, like basically as soon as I'm done riding, I like having the SIS protein Vrigo shake. It's been really good for me. And then after that, I like going back to my normal meals. So I don't consume anything giant after that. I try to make sure I stick to my diet. So whatever you're doing, don't do anything in excess of that, just to make sure that you're not, consuming too much. Usually I take a day or two off and consume more water just to make sure I can, regain back my strength and all that. But yeah, I hope all that helps. Please hit me down in the comments if you guys have any questions at all. I'll be down there to respond. Please hit that like and subscribe button though if you guys want more content like this. It helps my channel grow. It helps us do more stuff. I have a bike fit coming up this coming week, and I'm gonna be doing a video on that, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks, bye.